You're listening to The Standard Podcast. Eye-opening for your ears.
สวัสดีค่ะโบสาวิตรีนะคะ This is We Need To Talk Podcast Talk Show ภาษาอังกฤษสำหรับคนไทยที่ใช้ภาษาอังกฤษค่ะ Hi you guys, welcome back to our show. Thank you so much for listening. And still here with us this week, PEACHII พิชยาชัยชนะหรือที่เป็นที่รู้จักในนาม PEACHII สตีเวนโอปาค่ะ Alright, now we need to talk about Go Uni. Tell us about your work. I love your sound effects. I love you. Right? Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I love them.
I'm just so nervous. I just I need to make some noise.
Go Uni is like your baby, right?
I'm a co-founder.
One of the you're a co-founder. So from what I hear, it's very interesting and it's an education service.
Yes,
right?
it is. Yeah.
What's your responsibility in Go Uni?
In a director level. So I do everything that a director is meant to do, like doing all the business meeting, talking, business development kind of side. But Go Uni is really, it's still small. It's not like a big organization where everyone has a clear set of role. So a lot of role is still like cross disciplines a little bit. For example, like I do like the director things, but also like I look after like marketing side as well. I would say like particularly marketing, that's like my kind of area. And but yeah, I still consult with some students as well who are in the UK because I normally based in London. So like if it's students in the UK, sometimes I do consult them myself as well. So and I liaising between London and Thailand. So that's sort of like, I don't know what role that is. That's like everywhere.
Yeah, that's usually what
a starting company do, I think. Like when you're at a growing stage, you probably need to like
you put your heart and soul in it.
Yeah.
And you want it to come out as best as it could be. What's the idea behind Go Uni?
It's an education consultancy. So like because I myself was an international student, went to study in the UK and so as the other founders. So like we firsthand had all the experience ourselves of like what's the problem, what's the struggles, and especially like with my business partner, he worked in this industry for a while, like 7 years or so, and he's Chinese. So he brought in like perspective from Chinese side as well, that like there is like, you know, similar kind of thing, like education consultancy, education agency kind of type. And then there's like even bigger, like we found that there is some problem with it and it's growing, the transparency of like giving the advice, because like as this industry grows, people start to be overwhelmed by the information, and sometimes they rely on like agency. That's what people like to call it. They rely on this to like give them advice and all of that, and sometimes people just they partner with certain school and they will be like, oh, go to this one, this is the best one or whatever. But in fact, it might not be the case. Or sometimes like student was like, oh, I want to go to like a top ranked university, but that might not be the one that suits you, for example. So there's like this kind of problems that keep coming up, and not mentioning all the problem about like prepping yourself, applying and so and so and so. Right. So we see all this. So we felt like we think we could do something with this. We think we could make it more transparent. We think we could, you know, provide something that can elevate this industry. So that's where we started to you know, do this. People like to call what I do as an agency. คนชอบเรียกว่า agency เรียนต่อ It's like, education agency, but I hate it. I hate the word agency. Well, it's the easiest word to use to describe what we do, but I hate it because agency to me sounds like a middleman that you just put one side and through to the other. But that's not what we do. Well, at least at Go Uni, that's not what we do. We consult. That's what we do. We really look into like people backgrounds and really like talk to you and, you know, find the most suitable ones for you. There's a lot of process in between before we put you to your destination, because that's the future. Like education is an investment for future. So we want to make sure that we bridge the gap like the best we could between like students and their like destinations. Did that answer the question? Was it?
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's the idea behind Go Uni.
Yeah.
And it's based from your own experience and your partner's experience and from seeing what the problem in this industry is and then trying to, I want to say, make it more personalized and personable to
as it should
to
be.
future students. Yeah, exactly. And like you said, people who are traveling to the UK for education are probably spending a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, going to universities there is not cheap. So for you to be doing something like that is, I think it's great because you do it from your heart and you do it out of passion and from your own experience. And that's really admirable because I know some, like you said, some people are partnered with their schools and blah, blah, blah. It's all about money. It's all about, but that's not your case with Go Uni. It's
we do care. That's the thing. Like we do care, and sometimes that's why it takes some time. Like because sometimes we're being quite a little bit slower than people expected to, sometimes contact back or gathering things for them. But that's because we really look into detail for each. Like we don't just like have preset and then send it to you. Like we actually need to look at your background. There is no short answer to whatever people ask, really. Because, like, say, for example, like, the simple question, like, what's a good university? That's like...
There's so many answers to that.
Yeah, that's so vague. That's so big. Like, and I got that a lot. People were like, oh, what's a good university for engineering, for example? I can drop names, of course, but I always say that good university or good schools, like English language school or whatever, like, good schools to be in isn't like the highest ranking one. It's the one that's suitable for you.
And I just want to stress on that because from personal experience, I know some people who went to their dream first choice school in the States. And when they went there, they felt like the vibe of the school wasn't the same vibe with them. So their 4 years there were suffering. It was because they didn't really enjoy it. Oh, was that you? It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
That happened to me before.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
It happens to me all the time. What is that? พี่โบทำไมล่ะทำไม
หิวปะคะ
พี่โบ
We could cut it out.
That's you พี่โบเกิดอะไรขึ้นคะ
ลูกหิวก็ได้อะโยนให้น้อง
Right.
But and they were suffering throughout 4 years of college. And as for me, I wanted to go to this other school originally. And then I went to a school tour at my campus at UCI. And the moment that I walked in there, I said, I have to go here. I want to come here so bad. Because all the people, I felt like the students there, I could relate to. And I am like, they're kind of like me. They're the same type of people. And the energy that they give out sort of is similar to my type of energy. And I felt like I belong there. And that's when I knew. And it wasn't my first choice. But when I went on campus, on a campus tour, I knew it was for me. So kudos for you to do that for other people.
Yeah, that's why like we stress so much on this. Like that's why I went to visit universities and schools to film video as well so that people could see it, like really see it and see the vibe of it and make sure that it's their choice. It's really there. So there's no shortcut to like what's a good university. Like we need to talk more like what's your grade, what's your background, what's your vibe, what's your lifestyle, what's your budget. Like we need to know all this in order to like suggest anything. So that's why sometimes it takes time.
So tell us about the process from the start. Let's say I want to go to study abroad in the UK and I go to you and Go Uni.
Right.
Then what's the process like? Can you walk us through the whole thing?
Sure. So some people come in with like, oh, so what do you want to study? That's probably going to be the first question. Like, what subject? Because sometimes people do like, oh, same subject as I did in bachelor degree. Sometimes people change. So, okay, let's see. You choose your subject. And then, like, we see your background, like, how's your educational background? What's the grade? Have you had work experience? So then we find out about your need first, like, as I said. So, like, oh, how's your lifestyle? Do you like city, or you like it to be peaceful? How's your, like, what's the main factor of you? Like, oh, budget is my concern, or location is my concern. So we find out all this, and then the team then go on and then produce, like, a list of universities university for you, highlighting all the requirements like grade and IELTS and we make a plan together of like, oh, what could be your first choice, what could be your backup choice, and then we like help you with the documents. So we're going to prep you, like walk you through like all the documents that you need, what you need to prepare, and then you bring it back. We help you check. We had a team who's like, because you need to write a writing piece as well, like a personal statement. And then we help you, like guide you, like what to write, like how's the things comes across and so and so. So all the documents prep, then we then submit it on your behalf to the university. And like, because we have the office both in Thailand and in the UK, then the UK team, they're like can directly contact the university. So they then like track it for you and then how it's going, like has the offer come back? Was it a rejection? If it's like pending for so long, we also follow up as well, like what's missing? Is there anything else we could do so that you know like what's going on? Because sometimes like because you're in Thailand. Yeah, so we track that and then like, okay, we make sure that like you get everything done, like offer, rejection or whatever. And then you pick your choice. We then help you doing the visas and advise you through like accommodations. And when you arrive, having like, yeah, and we occasionally have party in the UK. So you're going to be invited to the party with Go Uni in the UK. And yeah, like just, yeah, enjoy your experience.
So you've been to a lot of schools in the UK. What would be something that you see in schools there and you don't see in Thai schools?
I would say they really empower the student from what I see, and they value all the subjects. They don't treat vocational subjects less important than like subjects like science or math or English or something like that. Like subjects like arts or textile or things like that, like it almost come across like whatever the student has interest in, they are ready to support it. For example, some student has very niche interest, like my student in the UK, she's studying like high school and she's like doing art subjects, but she had like her particular interest in sculpture. So, and the teacher then like tell her their art project to the sculpture, for example. So it's really like niche. So you can really pick out your area of interest and no one's going to judge that like, oh, what's that? Like no one cares about that subject. Why would you do that in uni or things like that? So I feel like they value all the subjects like equally. And as I said, like everyone seems to have rooms to excel. And that's what I really like about education now.
ช่วงนี้ให้ฝากร้านตามสบายเลยค่ะช่องทางติดต่อต่างๆเต็มที่เลยค่ะ
ก็ถ้าเกิดว่าคุณผู้ฟังคนไหนเหมือนเป็นดีเจไหมคะ
พี่อ้อยพี่ชอยนะคะ
ถ้าเกิดว่าคุณผู้ฟังคนไหนสนใจที่จะมาเรียนที่อังกฤษนะคะ like short course or English language course ระยะสั้นระยะยาวได้หมดเนาะหรือว่าจะเป็น high schoolปริญญาตรีปริญญาโทนะคะติดต่อ Go Uni ได้เลยเนาะที่www.gouni.co.uk นะคะคือ oh and could I just say this as well that like it's not just for kids. People had the perception that like for someone to go study like English language for example แบบเรียนจบแล้วอะไรอย่างเงี้ยแล้วก็ they kind of have a perception that to go there and study English language is just for kids, like summer course or thing like that. But that's not true. Lots of my students are adult students. So like even you are in the university already or graduated already or work already, like you can still go and study English language. So take the opportunity.
Yes. Now, we need to talk about your YouTube channel, which has over 600,000 subscribers at the time we're recording, which is in March of 2018. How did it all begin? When was the first time you shot your first video, and what made you decide to put it up on YouTube for the world to see?
Right. It really depends. If you mean like the very actual first one that is on there or like the first one that I decided to make it because like I made the videos on like social cam before. It's like way back then. Do you know social cam?
สวัสดี social cam
สุดดีใช่สุดดี social cam
สวัสดี social cam
ใช่ like I like to watch it like when I studied I come across the app like by accident and then I watch like other people like they do something that currently we call it vlog. But back then there is no terminology for vlog, so it's just people using their phone and then like film what they do, and I kind of enjoy watching it. So I want to record my experience as well, and then I put it on social cam first, and then it's just linked to YouTube automatically at that time. So that was like sort of the start, but then there was a very first one that I deliberately sit down and then let's make the content. The first one was like sitting down and talk about experience as international student. Yeah, that came about the same time as I started to go uni. So I was like wanting to taste out as well a little bit about like the way to do this kind of content marketing kind of thing. So that's like when I deliberately come up with a topic and let's do this.
How did you learn to make the videos and everything? Did someone teach you or was it self-taught?
It's self-taught.
Yeah? Did you learn via YouTube?
No. I went to YouTube when I really have like some feature that I really need to find, but it's like self-taught by just because when I was in undergrad, I went to study like communication arts, so นิเทศ. There was some like projects that we need to edit something, but I wasn't the one who edited. Like I had someone else in the team who was like, okay, take the role of editing. But I've seen the program before and I've seen how it sort of work a little bit. But later on, like when I do it myself, it was sort of like it was just footage, chop things up. And things like that. So I'm just play around with it, like so it's like just self-taught by experimenting it.
Were you thinking at the time, wow, I'm having so much fun doing this. The audience seems to love me. I should make this my career. Had that ever crossed your mind?
Like a full-time YouTuber? Not really, because I started it at the same time I started Go Uni. So Go Uni has always been my main thing. So there was a point in time when I felt like, oh my gosh, this is like a lot going on. It come across my mind that maybe if I'm a full-time YouTuber, things might be easier. I'm not saying YouTubers is easy,
right?
But maybe doing one thing is easier than just, having to do like, because it almost like I work on Go Uni weekday and then YouTube weekend. And so that's like 7 days a week already. So there was a point in time that it comes across my mind that like, maybe being a full-time YouTuber is probably like, it might be better. But then it was just like, it's just me exhausting, never mind. So yeah, because I made it, what's the word, like overlapping from the start.
Right.
Like, because I started at about the same time, like it's part of the way that I try like new wave contents and things like this. So it always have like some overlapping part between Go Uni and YouTube anyway. So that's why it's still like justify me keep going on like this.
Now, I'm sure a lot of our listeners who have seen your YouTube channel or your videos or are following you on Instagram are probably wondering, why do you call Stephen Oppa? Because he's obviously not Korean, right?
Right.
Or no, he doesn't even look Korean either, but neither.
No.
So why Oppa?
Like there was a time when he took me to a work party and everyone suited up, and that was the first time that he was in full-on suit, like a party suit, and I'm like, ooh. And it reminds me of Super Junior. There was like one song that they did the music video and they all wore
Mr.
suit.
Simple? I think it was.
Sorry หรอหรืออะไรเก่าไปไหม
Yeah, no, maybe, I don't know.
So he just sort of like remind me of that. So I tweeted a picture of him, and because he didn't have any social media account that I could tag him, but I want to tag him นึกออกปะอยากจะแบบ tag แฟนบ้าง
Yeah.
So I just like come up with a hashtag, and then it's just a little way of like me teasing him. So I was just like, Stephen Oppa, like sell, yeah, because he reminded me of Super Junior. But that's it. That's where it comes from. But it has nothing to do with like him being Korean or anything.
So So if one of the fans came up to you and said, "You're my idol, I want to be just like you," what would you say to her or him?
Don't. No. No, I'm joking. Well, first, like, thank you. Like, I really appreciate people admiring or idolizing me. Like, I'm very honored and very, very flattered. But I just want to also remind people that everyone has different sides, and same as me. Sometimes people do think that everything that they see on the video, that's all what I do. And they're like, I want to work like you. I want to just like living my life, going around and film schools. Like, that's not all I do. So like people always have different sides and no one's perfect. So just want to kindly remind that
I watch a lot of vlogs on the American side. And I've noticed most YouTubers, they're always like, oh, I'm at the supermarket. Oh, it's kind of awkward. Everyone's staring. Oh, like, you know, when you're vlogging, you're a bit self-conscious that people are watching. Are you used to that by now, vlogging in public?
No.
Do you still feel awkward?
All the time. I do feel awkward all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that people do say that. Really, did I? Because I never come across any vlog that they say that
like,
thing.
I'm at the gym and there are people like right next to me. So, okay, I'm just going to set you guys down or like something like that.
Yeah. I know, yeah. I'm the same. I'm pretty sure that I say that in front of a camera as well. And I still feel awkward even today. I just keep telling myself that like, oh, thank God I have long legs.
Yeah.
So I can just walk as quickly as possible and walking like past through all these people and just keep telling myself like, we're never going to meet again.
Yeah.
We're never going to meet again. So that just keep me walking.
That's your survival guide.
Yeah. I'm just like taking like camera out and like talking to camera and then I'm just going to walk as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Judge away. But we're not going to meet again. I hope.
Until they go watch you on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yay.
I know.
But then they would understand.
Yeah, I keep telling myself, like, especially like I spend most of my time in London, so I'm like, no one in London. No one would know me. Like, this is the only time you're gonna see me.
Okay, so before you go, let's have some fun with some of our super random questions. Are you up for it?
See, I'm up for it, man. Yep.
Okay. What's your favorite day of the week and why?
Wednesday.
Why?
I feel like it's like halfway through.
Oh, it's hump day.
Yeah, I feel like
in the middle.
Halfway through already.
Yeah. If you have to choose, would you rather be the funniest person with an IQ lower than average or be the smartest person with no sense of humor?
It really depends on how lower than average. Like, is it like much lower than average? I'd probably go for the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would immediately stay away from this kind of people.
High ego, low EQ.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Agree. What would be one thing that other human beings seem to be able to do very easily and naturally, but you can't?
I can't read a military time. Is that weird?
No, that's not weird because... But really?
Yeah, I kind of can, but it takes me much longer than normal people.
Sometimes I count from like 13, 14. Like
I need to count, but probably double your time. And it happens to me so many times that people like made an appointment for me at like 5 p.m. and it's like 17:00. And I arrived at 7 p.m. So like I find it quite struggling with military time. I used to work where we need to work with appointments all the time, and then the system is in military time, and I need to draw my own clock with like my own number next to it. Yeah.
Last question. Well, it's more of a request, I guess. Try your best, even though you're not drunk, to say something with an American accent.
Oh. I'm really bad at imitating accent.
Really?
Really? How about...
We need some alcohol.
I don't know. I used to like do it just for fun, but it's not American. I was just like, oh my God.
Oh, that's so Valley girl. Oh my God.
What is that?
Really?
Isn't that Californian?
Very Californian.
It's
Very
like,
Valley girl.
Right, that's how you call it.
Yeah, Valley girl, sorority girl accent.
Right.
But it's very Southern
Is it like Kim
California.
Kardashian accent?
Kind of. It's
Yeah.
it's LA. It's very LA. It's
like,
very LA.
oh my God.
Yeah. I'm guilty. Sometimes I talk like that. I have to stop myself from talking like that because I don't want to sound like Paris Hilton or Kim Kardashian.
Like, oh my God.
That was so much fun. Did you have fun?
I did actually. Yeah.
Were you more relaxed?
I'm still nervous. But,
Really?
Yeah, but it's like I'm not used to this, like interviewing and this kind of thing. So, yeah.
Thank you for coming anyway.
Thank you for having me.
And I know your schedule is super busy while you're here in Thailand for a brief period of time. And so thanks for joining us.
No, thank you. Thanks everyone for like having me. Like it's a great honor. I had a good time.
ถ้ารู้ว่าเพื่อนคนไหนรักภาษาอังกฤษชอบฟังภาษาอังกฤษและเรื่องราวชีวิตที่น่าสนใจของเซเลบหลากหลายโบฝากแชร์เอพิโซดนี้ให้เขาฟังด้วยนะคะ This is Bo Savitri วันนี้ไปก่อนนะคะสวัสดีค่ะ
The Standard Podcast Eye Opening for your ears